My name is Marie Northington. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm a photographer. So my background as an artist, I really started with photography in high school. I took a film photography class there, and we had a dark room, and I just fell in love with the process. It was really fun because it felt very manual to load the film, to even just develop the film as well, and not knowing what was going to come out until the end. So it was kind of like a surprise. I think that's really honed my technique skills, because you only have 36 exposures, so you got to make them good. And so I just really explored photography there, and continued through college too. I was the president of the Boulder Photography Club out in Colorado, so I was able to work with other photographers that went to the university and that lived in the county as well. I kind of took a break from photography for a little bit, and then I recently got back into it. So why I said yes to this program, I was in a kind of life transition point, leaving a previous job. Before this, I was working with startup companies, kind of as a startup consultant, and most recently at an agency. After getting laid off from that job, it just caused me to wonder what I was going to do next. I came to the program as a guest with George, originally just with the idea that I was going to find the rest and be in the onsen. And then, kind of got elevated to the artist status with the rest of them. As a photographer, and really started to lean into that. It was difficult for me to identify myself as an artist with the other artists as well. But I knew that photography was always my passion, and it was something I was always interested in. And so I've been able to gain the confidence back in my photography and back in my self-identity as well. Just leaning more into the photos that I take and the process that I have, taking my camera with me on all our excursions. Also, while the other fellow artists were doing their work, capturing them while they were doing their work, and, gain that confidence back once I developed my photos. And I was like, yeah, I do this, and I'm pretty good at this. So far, my experience has been incredible. It's been a roller coaster, emotionally challenging, physically challenging, probably spiritually challenging as well. But all for the better. It started out difficult for me, but I think getting to know the other artists, having the artist talks, having that openness has led me to be more vulnerable with myself and with everyone around me. The onsen was incredible, better than anything I could have ever imagined. Honestly, I came in with no expectations for the onsen, and it's just been so great. It's an incredible place of relaxation and rest. I can feel my anxiety just melting away, something that I've really struggled with really my whole life, but especially in the last 2 years. Just being able to sit with myself and not have racing thoughts or self-doubt or anything like that. I do think the change of pace has affected my artistic process here. So slow, kind of everything has been moving in Kaga. There's a lot of room for stillness, a lot of room for quiet and just space. So, when I get stressed, I can just take a moment. Take a moment to sit with myself, take a moment to just walk outside. That's definitely one that I'll take with me, is just take a little walk, take a break. I'm getting really stressed, because when I get really stressed, I'll kind of be like, I need to be in solution mode, and this needs to be done right now. And sometimes, most of the time, my creativity comes from not doing anything and just organically letting the thoughts flow in. So I think I'm going to honor that moving forward. Of the 3 pieces I wanted to create, one of them was for Kaga and the Japanese people living there in Kanazawa and the Ishikawa region. So we went to the park in Kanazawa with the castle, and I got a photo of the cherry blossom trees in there. We're kind of at a perfect place, kind of right after the peak of when they bloomed. And so I blew that up into one of my frames. The second one, I wanted to be for the fusion artists to see themselves reflected. So I have a group picture of us on the walk to the stone quarry in Takigahara. I also have photos of the other artists painting. I have Logan in there with a charcoal painting that he created, and then Alana with her umbrella that she painted. And these are all in black and white. So my third piece, I wanted to do a black and white photo working with shadows. Had this image in my head of everyone's shadows that I wanted to capture. And so when we went on the walk in Takigahara, the farm, we went to Stone Quarry. And as we walked deeper in, I could see everyone's shadows, like their backs were to me. And I was like, this is actually what has been in my head the whole time. So I was able to capture that moment, and I blew that up. And there's a little distortion, a little blurriness, but I think it adds like a cool, mysterious vibe to it that turned out really great. One specific place that really stood out to me in Kaga was the Takigahara farm. I love farms as a thing, so he's just seeing the chickens and the dogs running around everywhere. And you know, that whole day was pretty magical. I got to do a washi paper workshop, which was a very new experience, and now I have washi paper that I can take back with me. We also took the walk to the stone quarry, which was a rare experience, to kind of just be in there and be really silent. Mbonisi had a moment where he wanted us to be so quiet and so still, and then he sang, and it was beautiful. And so I took a lot of photographs in that stone quarry just because I was so inspired. And then the dinner afterwards, we had wild boar and fresh seaweed. Like, this was something I'd never experienced, and it felt very personal. And it was a great way to bond with the other artists as well. So the program, I know, has already shaped how I'm going to go about future projects and just my artistic process in general. It's really given me the confidence to try something new. And to just go back to what I also love and just mix those two together. You know, the collaboration with the other artists was amazing. Getting to work with Miguel, he was inspired by some of my old photographs from Morocco, the color palette there. And so it was just incredible to see my photographs have an influence on his painting, his oil paintings, and getting to see like the whole color palette that I like to see and that I like to show the world, that he captured that in his paintings. So I think collaborating with other artists, even people that are photographers, people that are doing different mediums, you know, that's really inspired me. My mom is also a painter. So we've always talked about like, she's going to paint my photographs. So this kind of gives me the confidence to go forward with that and live in this identity of an artist, and that I don't just do art as a side thing. I would hope that people take away from my work or my journey being here, that you can change at any point. I think you hear that a lot, but it doesn't really sink in until you actually make that leap. For me, it was kind of like I kind of got kicked off the ledge. And then I just embraced it and was like, I'm going to say yes to things and see where it leads me to. And it's led me to Japan, of all places. And I never thought I would have this experience. And I hope viewers take from my work it's always been, I just want to show a different perspective, even on everyday things. And just show that there's a lot of beauty in the world. And sometimes it's a little mysterious. Sometimes it's right in your face. Sometimes it's hidden deep in a stone quarry. But if you just say yes and go for it, you'll find something incredible.